Hello, welcome to episode number 3 of Ask Jerry Tachoir. For those of you who are wondering, if you want to ask me a question, simply go to my website at www.tachoir.com, and up in the menu you'll see a contacts button. Just click on that and fill out the information and ask the question, and I'll get back in touch with you, or we can do one of these videos. The question today comes from Nick in Holland. Hello, Mr. Tachoir. I have several of your recordings, if not all of them. You have the best recorded vibe sound of all the vibists I've heard. Well, thank you for that. My question is this. Your chord voicings seem to have such a fuller, bigger sound than most. How do you get that full chord sound with only 4 mallets? What are you thinking when you are playing chords? Best, Nick. Nick, this is a fantastic question. Just a question that I've contemplated a lot to try to make my vibraphone compete in the world of guitar players and piano players who have 10 fingers and 88 notes. I'm trying to find fuller, bigger sounds. The first thing that I do is I try to make my chords bigger than an octave. Most percussionists, when they come to mallet instruments, and they're going to play, example, a C major 7 chord. The first chord that they will play is root position, C, E, G, B. Pretty uneventful chord, it's just smaller than an octave, thin. So what I try to do is immediately exchange places with the outside 2 voices. So the root that's on the bottom, I put it on the top, and the major 7 that's on the top, I put it on the bottom. So here's the original chord. Here's the one that's expanded. So you can hear it just kind of has a thicker, bigger sound. Now the problem with this particular chord on a major 7 is that you have an interval at the extreme now of flat 9. Flat 9s are those intervals that you want to avoid musically. They just have a lot of dissonance that you may not want. So in this situation, what you can do if you didn't want that degree of dissonance is you can substitute tension 9 for the root. Now you remember the root that used to be on the bottom is now on the top. So my tension 9 is 1 step above the root, so there's your tension 9. And again, I'm getting even bigger than an octave, so which means the sound is going to be bigger. So here's the original chord. Here's the one expanded with the flat 9 interval. Here's the one with the tension 9. So each time it's getting bigger sound and just a little bit of a thicker, warmer sound that you're looking for. Now regarding the one with the flat 9 interval, it actually works fairly well on vibraphone, marimba, piano, organ, guitar, any instrument that you don't have to deal with intonation issues. If you wrote this for 4 trumpets, the problem would be that the outside flat 9 interval, the guy playing the B on the bottom would be hearing a C on the top. He'd want to go sharp. The guy playing the C on top would be hearing the flat 9 interval with the B on the bottom, and he would have intonation issues trying to get back down to the B. Not a good idea. So anyway, just substituting tension 9 gives you the best way to get away that flat 9 interval. Now the second thing, and this is a more involved answer, and I can't really get into all of the details of theory and everything in this short little video, but while I was at Berkeley, There was a class that I took, and I was reluctant to take this class because it was predominantly a big band writing class. And at the time, I really wasn't into writing for big band music. However, everybody told me, no, if you go to Berklee, this is the class you have to take. You have to have a lot of prerequisites. You have to have advanced training. You have to know theory. You have to test into the class. It was a hard class to get into. And so anyway, I took it. It was taught by Herb Pomeroy, and it was called line writing. And line writing changed my playing totally. I mean, I used to think different. I used to, the way I moved my mallets, the way I played my chords was totally different. So anyway, Herb's, in a nutshell, Herb's concept with chord voicings was to increase power of chords, you have to put in prime dissonances. And prime dissonances, according to Herb's definition, was half steps, major sevens, and flat nine intervals. Obviously, half step, right? Major seven, pretty distant. Flat nine, dissonant intervals. If you can incorporate these intervals within the confinement of the chord voicing, obeying all the modes and information and staying away from avoid notes and things like that, if you can incorporate these dissonances within the chord creates power. Here's an example. D minor 7 flat 5 stacked in thirds. D, F, A flat C. Thin, uneventful chord. Now, keeping the same chord, if I can find a half step utilizing the available notes within the mode, so in this case, the note G, tension 11. I can get rid of the third and I can put tension 11 right there, and it creates that inside half step. So here's the chord now. Here's the original. Here's the one with the dissonance. So just that little bit of friction, that little bit of dissonance within a chord gives you power. Now, the more prime dissonances you can include within the voicing, obviously the more powerful the chord can be. So if you have 2 prime dissonances, it's more powerful. You can have 3 prime dissonances. Unfortunately, I only have 4 mallets, so a lot of times I have to just double up on the notes that I attack to get that kind of power. But that's the fastest way that I can give you to try to get your chords where you can compete in the world of, again, piano players and guitarists and everybody else that just seems to have very aggressive sounds. And as a 4 mallet vibes player on a 3-octave instrument, we have to do whatever it takes to kind of get us in that field of competition to be full and sound like our voicings are just having the power that we want to do. And again, you want to try to incorporate the guide tones as much as possible within a chord. The guide tones are the thirds and sevenths of most chords, and just by incorporating those 2 notes, you get the essence of the chord without anything else. And then you could use your right hand to put in the half steps or the other notes of the chord or the tensions or a melody note, and that too will help you sound fuller. I hope this gives you some information for it. And again, it's a complicated subject and something that I could teach in maybe 2 semesters, and in a short video it's a little tough. Anyway, thank you again for the question, Nick, and keep listening. Thank you so much.